Heels in pro wrestling have committed some pretty heinous acts over the years. Their deeds are so ridiculously evil that the only logical comparison you can make are to comic book supervillains. Really, it's not as much of a stretch as you may think. Here are 10 wrestling performers and their supervillain counterparts. Sonny is Enchantress, the original template of a WWE diva. Sonny built her success on being beautiful as hell and using it to get whatever she wanted. Take that to a godly scale and you'll see much of the same with the Thor villainess Enchantress. Extremely well versed in the art of magic, Enchantress combines sorcery and her natural beauty to make people bend to her will. Like Sonny, she is rarely without a servant present to help her in her goals. Sonny never got a main eventer and Enchantress never got Thor, but it would do you good to stay away from these two vixens. The Miz is Mysterio. Alright, so maybe The Miz looks a little bit less ridiculous than a man wearing a fishbowl, but Miz and Mysterio are both kind of pathetic nonetheless. Despite their lack of power, these two have somehow battled foes beyond their level, like John Cena and Spider-Man. They may appear strong thanks to illusions and screwy interferences in matches, but strip them of their artificial tricks and they are sorely lacking in power. To top it off, they think of themselves as great actors, and in reality, they're C-listers who can't hack it. Kane is Killer Croc. Tragic beasts bent on revenge, the Big Red Machine and Killer Croc could make people feel truly sorry for them, if they weren't too busy destroying you. Both had the worst of childhoods. While Kane had to suffer from losing his parents from the fire set by his brother The Undertaker, Croc was mocked relentlessly by everyone for his freakish appearance. His father left him, his mother turned to alcoholism, and now Batman guns for him at every turn. These two could have turned out fine if not for the evils of other men. AJ Lee is Mystique. One of the most dangerous women in Marvel, Mystique's ability to shapeshift and her agile combat expertise makes her notoriously hard to deal with. She will use people to get what she wants without blinking an eye. AJ Lee may have started out innocently, but in time she became one of the best heels in women's wrestling. She played with men's emotions numerous times, she thrashed other women for being mannequins, and even her Black Widow finisher is something Mystique would bust out in a fight. Never trust your eyes with these two. They are dangerous women. Edge is Loki. On paper, both Edge and Loki seem poised to become vanguards of all that is good in Asgard and the WWE. Who would have known though that this god and this blonde-haired pretty boy would become two of the most devious villains of all time? Recognized as the ultimate opportunist and the god of mischief, Edge and Loki made their name on creating chaos and relishing in it. Their greatest strength lies in manipulating others, whether it be to bring about Ragnarok or winning world championships. Never turn your back on these two. Brock Lesnar is Doomsday. Brock Lesnar could fill in the part for a number of bruisers in comics, but ultimately, is there a better fit for him than the being that killed Superman? Brought to both the DC Universe and the WWE by the scientist Burton and Paul Heyman respectively, the two behemoths cut a path of destruction never seen before. While Lesnar ascended to the top of the WWE within a year, Doomsday killed comics' mightiest hero Superman less than 1 year after his first appearance. Not much personality for these two, but who can or should argue with their work? Bray Wyatt is the Scarecrow. Better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Somebody's been reading Machiavelli here. False deities proclaiming to be the living embodiments of fear, Dr. Jonathan Crane and Bray Wyatt ply their trade by striking fear in the hearts of humanity. Wyatt does so by seeing past the facade of our plastic world and showing us how shallow it is. What Scarecrow lacks in physical strength, he makes up for in mental might. Equipped with his fear gas, he's able to bring foes to sheer terror with a vapor. Now that is a scary thought. Roddy Piper is the Joker. Living for just their own personal pleasure, these jesters may seem innocent, but appearances can be very deceiving. Using death traps and talk shows to mock their foes relentlessly, Joker and Roddy Piper are clerics of chaos that mix humor into their brutal games. We as viewers may laugh, but their victims don't find them funny at all. There are copycats aplenty for these two, but Roddy Piper and the Joker were the original crazies of both WWE and comic books. Triple H is Dr. Doom. Has there ever been a time where either of these men saw an opportunity for power and didn't try to take it? Exactly. As soon as Triple H saw a chance to abandon his brethren in D-Generation X, he did. This led to 14 world championships and a Hall of Fame worthy career. Even in quasi-retirement, he now plays God over the careers of others backstage. Name a source of great power in the Marvel Universe, and Dr. Doom has probably had his gauntlets on it. The Infinity Gems, the power cosmic, the power of Molecule Man Doom has held them all. He also overthrew the leader of his country and took power for himself. Can't forget that one. Paul Heyman is Mephisto. Possibly the evilest being in the Marvel Universe, Mephisto is essentially the devil. Now, while a case can be made for Vince McMahon taking his spot, he lacks the subtlety required to play the role. Paul Heyman, on the other hand, both Mephisto and Heyman promise the world to their clients, but leave them behind in the end. Look at the ECW originals and the poor management of the promotion, Heyman's betrayals of CM Punk, and Mephisto's numerous deals with Marvel characters. Despite their obvious nature, they somehow always pull people into their fold. And that's it for our list. Which supervillains do you think have a WWE counterpart? Let us know in the comment section, and don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to TheSportster for more awesome content.